Welcome to The Next Bloom, the podcast where we reset and reimagine retirement. I'm your host, Delia Farquharson, and together we're exploring what it means to thrive in life's second act. Today's episode calls for us to take a deep dive, into a powerful yet often unconsidered question. Who am I without my identity of work? Whether you're preparing to retire or already have, the transition can feel like stepping into unknown territory. Many of us have spent years, even decades, being known by our job titles, defined by our roles, and structured by our routines. So when that chapter ends, who are we? Let's talk about that with honesty, compassion, and possibilities. Let's begin by acknowledging something many of us take for granted. Work just doesn't give us a paycheck, it gives us an identity. It tells the world something about us, and sometimes it tells us a lot about ourselves. Think about the last time you met someone new. Chances are, one of the questions, if not the first question, is, what do you do? It's how we connect, it's how we categorize, and it's often how we measure value. But here's the truth. When work becomes our entire identity, stepping away from it can feel like a kind of death. We're not just retiring from a job. We're retiring from a role that shaped our daily rhythm, our relationships, and even our sense of self-worth. The core question is, did I live a meaningful life? Here, individuals reflect on their lives, looking for a sense of coherence and satisfaction. If they feel proud of their accomplishments, they achieve what developmental psychologists call ego integrity. If they dwell on regrets or a feeling of loss of identity, they may experience despair. Retirement is often a turning point where this type of reflection begins in earnest. So you may be asking, who am I now? Or was my worth tied solely to my career? It's okay to acknowledge the emotional weight of stepping away from professional identity and the opportunity to reframe your life. The richest and fullest lives attempt to achieve an inner balance between three realms: work, life, and play. That's a quote by Erik Erikson, who is or was a child psychoanalyst. He coined the phrase identity crisis, and he really did a lot of work in developmental psychology. So many believe that this quote aligns perfectly with the theme of retirement identity, and Erikson's theory, his theory of psychosocial development emphasizes that later in life, what he calls the eighth stage, integrity versus despair, individuals reflect on their life's meaning, seeking, coherence. They're looking for peace. Retirement can disrupt that work realm and unsettle the balance, prompting the identity questions that we're exploring today. So, what happens when that role ends? Some people may be like, finally, I can't wait. They feel relieved, they're free to rest, to travel, to pursue other interests. But for others, this transition is often met with grief and anxiety and confusion, loss. You might find yourself waking up and wondering, what do I do now? or even more unsettling, who am I now? That is completely typical. Many people who retire face these questions. I won't say it's normal, because what's normal anyway? But it's typical. Retirement is a major life transition. And psychologists call this a role exit. You're letting go of something familiar, often without a clear replacement. And anytime we lose something that anchors us, it takes us time to balance and to recenter. So let me pause here and ask, have you allowed yourself to grieve the loss of your work identity? Have you acknowledged how much it meant and how much you have outgrown? But here's the good news. Identity is not fixed. It's not something that ends when a business card is shredded or a laptop is shut. You are not your job. You are your values. You are your passions. You are your memories, your wisdom, your humor, your resilience. You are who you have always been. You are just waiting to bloom again. So let's explore that. I want to offer you a simple exercise. Take a few moments today and complete this sentence. Outside of my job, I am someone who... fill in the blank. Say it out loud. Write it down. Whisper it in the mirror if you need to. This small act can be the first step in reclaiming your full identity. I recently talked with a friend, someone who, had worked in computers for 35 years. And after retirement, she found herself unsure of how to fill her days. But slowly, she figured it out. She started to volunteer. She volunteered at a garden center, then she picked up planting again, and this is something she hadn't done in quite a while. And one afternoon, she told me, I think we were having lunch, she said, I'm not just a retired computer person. I'm a learner, I'm a creator, I'm still growing. And that's exactly what the next bloom is about. So how do you move forward from here? You start by connecting with your old interest. You explore new communities, you join a book club, you attend a local workshop, you take a solo walk with a podcast. Reflect on what gives you meaning now, not just what you used to be, but what still sparks your joy. You're not starting over. You're starting next. So thank you for joining me on this episode of The Next Bloom. If today's topic resonated with you, I invite you to share it with someone who's navigating the same journey. Please reach out to me on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, all of the social media platforms. You can search for me by my name, Delia Farquharson. Leave me a comment, share it with a friend, and tell us who you are becoming or what you anticipate becoming as you consider retirement. Until next time, I'm Delia Farquharson, and I encourage you to keep blooming, keep growing, keep exploring, and above all, keep blooming.